Okay, hello there everyone. Welcome to Engla Tocyme blót, Hwicce Engla blót 2024. We've done the lamb blessing, which you'd have seen in previous videos, and we've done the lamb blessing, hallowed the mead. We're now on to the script. We had a little bit of a technical issue, but we will now begin with Engla Tocyme. Sorry about that, everyone. Fwasiv Hwicce Reagan and the Ethelwonnen, forebears of the Anglican, upholders of our belief. Wassel for hail our fern cedars, holding blot elsewhere. Now is the month of Hwrefymonoth, which means the month of Hwrefy. About this time, and of our heathen forebears, the venerable Bede wrote, Hwrefymonoth is named for their Gieden, Hwrefy, to whom they made blot at this time. The full moon of Hwrefymonoth is known as the warm moon because earthworms are more clearly seen writing about and herald the onset of the warmer months. Hwrefymonoth is a time of strong winds, strong storms and downpours as winter is blown out by the Gieden Hwrefy, who ushers in the summer. Waldor's winter kingdom has now ended, and the harshness of the last 6 months is over. The gods of the light have now come back, and sun's rays shines brighter. Amidst the backdrop of victory of winter, it is rightfully so that we come together as holy guildsmen for Engla Tocyme to celebrate the victory of our folk settlement in these isles. Hwrefy means fierce, cruel, savage as well as quick, swift, rough, and Hwrefy means glory, fame, triumph, honour. Hwrefymonoth is known also as Hwrefymonoth, and so Hild is another name for Hwrefy. Hild means sound, noise, and tumult. These meanings show that the Anglican Gieden Hwrefy is linked to and must command strong and noisy winds, and that she is fierce and savage. One only needs stick their head out of a window at this time and realise this truth. Moreover, given that her month sees the ending of winter, we fern cedars think of her as victory, triumph over the toughest half of the year, which wrote great hardship to our old English forebears. It seems likely that there was a truth about her driving out the forces of winter with her powerful natural strength, which ushered in the summer. The time of Hwrefy also seems the lecton, which means lengthening, where the days become longer and fuller with sun's light. Lengton is elsewhere. Okay. If you could all repeat after me, please. Hail Hwrefy!
Hail Hwrefy!
Herald of summer!
Herald of summer!
Hail, you mighty storm Gieden!
Hail, you mighty storm Gieden!
Wassel hail!
Wassel!
We English count ourselves amongst the select breed of folks whose continued history and law in writing go back thousands of years. It was Tacitus who bears the honour of recording our Leipzig name in the earliest surviving account. In his work, Germania, written in 98 CE, where he refers to our Leod as Angli, which is the Latinised form of Old English. Angli and Engel is well as later from Angles, which gave rise to Anglish and English. The Leipzig name Anglish was wielded by the Anglo-Saxon settlers in Britain to distinguish themselves from the Welsh who were pushed to the western and northern uplands of Britain by our forebears. Indeed, England was the first nation state anywhere in the world and bears the oldest and most continual account of a nation's history, that being the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. We English bear most bygone name and a rich and unrivalled pedigree, which great folk to call Wales-reckon. There's a reader part here. Would anyone like to do a reading part?
Yeah, I'll read.
It's just that bit there, and I'll see if there's any. I think there's a bit more on the back. That bit there as well.
Got it.
On the back.
Right then.
Okay, can you see? All right, it's a bit dark.
Yeah, we can see it.
Of lore, both old and wise, is said that the English race can trace themselves back to the founder who gave his name to our folk, Saxo Grammaticus, in the Gesta Danorum wrote, Now Dan and Angle were begotten of Humble. Their father were the overseers, and not only the founders of our race. And these two men, though by the wish and boon of their motherland, they gained the lordship of the land. And on going, the wonders of their daring deeds got the foremost power by the consenting voice of their folk, yet left without the name of king. The wielding whereof was not then often said amongst the folk. Of these two, Angul, the fountain head, so runs the few of the beginning of the English race, caused his name to be given up to the land over which he ruled. There was an easy kind of tribute wherewith he immortalised his mayors sung for his successors. A little later, when they gained control of Britain, changed the former name of the island for a fresh name, that of their own land. This deed was much thought of by the elder ones. Witness Bede, no mean body amongst the writers of the church, who was the native of England and made it his care to embody the doings of his homeland in the most hallowed treasury of his leaves, deeming in equally a religious duty to glorify in writing the deeds of his land and a chronicle of the history of the church.
Thank you, brother.
There we go.
If we could all repeat them, please. Oh, what's going on there? There we go. How the old father,
How the old father,
founder of our race,
founder of our race,
Hal Angle,
Hal Angle,
Siga Anglekin,
Sig Angle Kin.
What's that?
What's the how?
What's that?
There's another reader part. Would anyone want to do a reader part, or would you prefer me to do it, or anyone want to go?
Oh, I can do it.
Do you want to go, Nate?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you want a bit of light on you there, bud?
I'm good, mate.
See
Yeah,
whether you want to go on camera or not, I don't mind.
yeah I'll
All
go
right, bud.
here.
I'll show you which part it is,
Yeah.
mate. It's quite a big bit, so is that alright? Or if
Yeah,
you
that's
get,
fine.
if it gets a bit tough after
Here,
the
all
paragraph,
this.
yeah, all down there, mate. Yeah.
Alright.
If there's a certain word that you struggle with, let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help
So
me
there's
pronounce
a few old English ones in there.
Offa of Angle, son of Wermund, who succeeded his father as king of all Jutland. It is said that in stature he surpassed all his peers during the reign of his father at a battlefield by the river Eder, dense crowds amassed on either side, and Offa willingly fought 2 Saxon warriors at the same time. The strength and courage there displayed that day have passed into Ingween lore, and as one of the finest and most astounding, for Offa alone overcame and slew the 2 aggressors. In so doing, Offa restored to high honour the house of Angle, and for himself laid down an immortal Maesung, known far and wide amongst the Teutonic race. And so, as years went by, Offa, now known as Offa of Angle, in utter contrast to his formative years as a stripling and then a man, became well loved and well known throughout his homeland and much wider still, now being full of wisdom and hardihood. His name was linked with bravery. The shame that Ket and Whig had brought to the Angles was undone, and the high esteem that once was afforded to the house of Angle was restored. With the aethelings of the Saxons now bested, Offa of Angle installed himself as king of their What's that? That one there. Morrigging lands, and after his father Wermund became king also of Anglin, meaning he was king of 2 kingdoms. When Offa of Angle, whose name shall be forever immortalised, so long the Anglekin race remembers him, was laid to rest, his son Angletheo became king, and abolished the realm of Morriggings, and merged its land with Anglin to form one great kingdom. When the Angles left the former England for Britannia, the Migrings very much went with them. The king of Offa of Anglin, Weird Frecker, straddled the North Sea, giving his race to the Mercian royal kindred of England.
Nice one, Nath.
Well done,
Yeah,
Nath.
thank you. I butchered a few words there, but
Oh, it's
No,
not
you
good,
did
mate.
well.
Yeah.
You've done amazing there.
Done good, mate.
Well done.
sorry, Dad.
It's all right.
There we go,
Well done.
Okay. If you could all repeat. Hardhoffer, Herald of Summer,
Herald of Summer,
Hail you mighty storm Geeden,
hail you mighty storm Geeden,
what's the hell?
Wassail.
I'm just going to go around there because there's a bit more light. We English count ourselves amongst a select breed of folks whose continued history and law in writing go back thousands of years. It was Tacitus who bears the honour of recording our lad sick name in the earliest surviving account. In his work Germania, written in 98 CE, where he refers to our laird as Angli, which is the Latin. Oh no, I've read that. What am I doing? It's all right. I haven't read it. Next page. No. It's that one. Is it that one? Sorry about this. These pages.
Oh, no. It's from where I read one of
It was, mate. Yeah. Right. So yeah, it's this one. Right. This is the part of the reading. Wittag seed of Woden. Wermund, son of Wittlag, Offa's son, Wermund, Anglefo, son of Offa, Eorma, son of Anglefo, Ickle, son of Eorma, Ickle, great-grandson of Offa, and Angle was the last Anglican king in Germania and the founder of the Erklingus. The royal house of Mercia, Offa of Mercia, who built the great dyke which separated the English from the Welsic, is a descendant of namesake of Offa and Anglin. Sorry, if you could all repeat this again. Hail Offa,
Hail Offa,
Anglin King,
Anglin King,
Eifling Seed,
Eifling Seed,
Wasselhal.
Wassail.
Well, we are definitely on the right page now. From over Wadder's North Sea, the Anglo-Saxons, Jutes, Frisians came. First the mercenaries, then as settlers, always as victors. The time of the folk wandering, made richer by the exploits and of the old English laird, was summoned up by one early medieval historian who said, but the calamity of fire which had lately happened was the denunciation from heaven, in consequence of which power and dominion were to circulate round the world, and the nations on the other side of the Alps were in their turn to become masters of the world. And so it was that the womb of Neofer, Teutonic sons and daughters, sprung from Germania and spread across Europe, taking land wheresoever they saw fit, raising their unconquerable standards over the fallen in every theatre of war they deigned to fight. Alas, from this folk wandering, the Ingle folk carved out the glorious home in this sketched isle, a blessed plot of land. Neofer's garden, the envy of the world, the Germanic race would indeed become masters of the known world. Long ago, the weird sisters wove from the strongest weave twin brothers, were deeds and fearless, would forever shape the course of history in Europe and the world, as their Maya song would lead to the carving out of a New England and a new weird for the Anglican in Britannia, from which the descendants would go on to master the world. As argued by J.R.R. Tolkien, Professor of Anglo-Saxon Studies at Oxford University, these were real men from the former England and who died in New England. The brothers were known by the Old English names Hengist and Horsa, meaning stallion, and horseman or horse, respectively. With the Roman withdrawal from Britain, the better part of the island was subject to attacks from Gaels, Picts and Caledonians. Amidst the backdrop of raids and uncertainty, Britain had become a patchwork of petty chiefdoms vying for control. Emerging from this was Vortigern, who became the most powerful Brythonic king. The Germanics, and especially the Inglefolk, were renowned all over Europe for their fearless in battle. Given the history of the Inglefolk already had with Britain, and that there were sundry communities of Anglo-Saxons already in Britain, it is little wonder that Vortigern relied on these men of iron and steel to repel the invaders. And so it came to pass. The Anglo-Saxons, led by Hengist and Horsa, in the pay of Vortigern, landed in Britain and repelled all foes of the Brythons wheresoever they found quarrel. No Gael, nor Pict, nor any other laird could match up against the Horse brothers who led the Anglican. And when all four men of Vortigern were overcome, Vortigern believed he could not settle his debt by giving the brothers the small isle of Thanet. Yet for the brothers who had defeated all that, the Isles of Britain could muster against them, and being in command of an undefeatable war band, such payment was not to their liking, and they in turn rebelled against their greedy master. Hengist and Horsa, from their new home, the Isle of Thanet, sounded the horns of war, which rang far across Wadder's North Sea to the old homeland, summoning the Angles, the Jutes, the Frisians, and the Saxons to that land was for taking. The Inglefolk and that new spoils would be theirs, and new deeds to be won that would earn them a May song worthy of any other seat in the great halls of our forebears, housed by our gods. The brothers in command of the Inglefolk started to take the south east of Britain. The 4 men flew from the house, twins and their wives mourned. So began the expulsion of the Welsick by the Anglisk, and the emergence of a Whitleg seed of Woden. Wermund, son of Wittag Offa, son Wermund. Oh no, that's next page. I'm doing it again. Right, now England under the horse flame banner. The Jutish twins, Hengist and Horsa, between them led an unified English folk to victory and glory. Hengist and Horsa, sons of Whitgills, son of Witter, son of Wector, son of Woden. Wheresoever the Anglekin feet tread, may their memory live long, and gifts be left for them. Our founding fathers. Could all repeat. Hail Hengist and Horsa.
Hail Hengist and Horsa.
Hail the brothers.
Hail the brothers.
Siga Anglekin.
Siga Anglekin.
Wassel hail.
Wassau.
There we go. From the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. Our folks treasured history. It is known that Cerdic landed, no, Cerdic, sorry, it can be pronounced Cerdic or Cerditch, depending on how you read it, landed in what is today Hampshire in 495 CE with his son Cymric and 5 ships full of Saxons. He's said to have fought a Brythonic king named Natalad at Netley Marsh in Hampshire, and killed him 13 years later. In 508 CE, and to have fought at Charford, meaning Cerdich's fort, in 519 CE. The conquest of the Isle of Wight is also mentioned among his campaigns, and later was given to his kinsmen Stuff and Whitgar, who is said to have arrived in the west with the West Saxons in 514 CE. Cerdich is said by the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle to have died in 534, succeeded by his son Cymric. Cerdich is the founder of Wessex, and all kings, since him claimed descent from him, including Alfred the Great. Indeed, one looks into the royal family tree of our past late Queen Elizabeth II. Even she still claims descendants from Cerdich, who was son of Elsa, son of Gewis, son of Wig, son of Frewin, son of Frithgar, son of Brond, son of Baldai, and son of Woden. Gewis, who led Gewis, who led the Gewis, is the great grandfather of Serdich. The Gewis were the original Saxons in the Upper Thames Valley, who were known as reliable and hardy warriors. It seems they ultimately were pushed south and southwest by the Mercian expansion. The Gewis are the Alfathers of the West Saxons, a bygone Atheling line. In the otherwise poorly made 2004 adaptation of King Arthur, Serdich says to the, well, a lot of you have seen the film might know this quote, to his Saxons about the Christian Brythons: "Don't touch their women. We do not mix with these people. What kind of offspring would that bring? Would that yield?" In the kind of voice he put on. "Weak people, half people, will not have our Saxon blood watered down by mixing with them." Such was the mood of the time when battle liners were clearly drawn between English and Welsic attitudes that would last for hundreds of years on both sides of the divine Fernsida against Christian. Serdich was and remains an extremely important Wealthrecker in the history of Wessex and England. If you could all repeat after me, please. Hail Serdich,
Hail Serdich,
founder of Wessex,
Founder of Wessex,
Atheling seed,
Atheling seed,
Russell Hail.
Wassail.
Okay. When the new religion from the east was starting to spread among the kingly courts of England, two East Saxon brothers, Sexred and Siward, would not forsake the Fernsida. Their father, Sabert, was the first king of Essex to convert to Christianity. After his death, Essex ruled jointly by three sons, Sexred, Siward, and the third either Sigbert or Saxbold, who oversaw the third of the kingsmen each. Third of the kingdom each. Where their father had given worship to the stranger Yalwa and allowed his followers to proselytize their foreign belief in Essex, the brothers instead represented the Christian ways in favour of our Anglican Fernsida, allowing and promoting once more the worship of our native gods in our native lands. When Sexred or Seaward and their brother saw the Christian Bishop of London, Mellitus, giving the Utrecht to the folk of the church, it is told in English law that the heathen brothers said unto him, "Why do you not give us the white bread that you once gave our father Saba? For so they called him, and which you still give to the folk." Mellitus answered that if they would be washed in the font, they should have it, but that otherwise it would do them no good. But they said that they would not enter the font, for they did not need washing, but refreshment. The matter was often explained to them by the bishop, who persisted in refusing their request. At the last they grew angry and banished him from their kingdom. Mellitus was never again able to come back to London for the folk there stayed Fernsidas in his lifetime. So basically, the heathen king, he got annoyed with the priest, kicked him out, and they remained heathen for the rest of his life. He was ruling. To the heathen brothers, it was an insult to their kingdom that a foreigner would give bread to the folk, but not to their kings. Moreover, it was an insult to them. As kings, they were not given what once was given to their father. The brothers would have found it strange to have washed in a font, because as Fenciders they were proud with their hygiene and washed regularly in lakes and running waters, whereas the Christians saw this pride as an illness and washed very rarely. In this exchange, we see clearly how the ways of the new at odds with the old ways. Not long afterwards, they went out to fight with West Saxons and were slain there, many being almost wholly destroyed. This battle was fought against Kingels and Hwicce of Wessex, and West Saxon kings who invaded Essex with a larger force than these Saxons could muster. In or about 626, we gave hail to the brothers Sexred and Sayward in their brother for fighting against the spread of Christianity and for holding true to our gods and belief. If we could all repeat, please. Hail Sexred,
Hail Saxred,
Hail Sayward,
Hail Sayward,
Wards of the Faith,
Wards of the Faith,
Sigafern Sida,
Sigafern Sida,
Wassail.
Wassail.
Penda was the last heathen king of the Mercian English. He was Guthrecker and Great Droyton. At a time when Christianity was taking hold of many kingly courts in England, Penda was a staunch Fensider who would not yield to the old ways nor forsake our gods. Part of Penda's aim in his wars fought against Northumbrians and kingdoms of the South English was to rid the Anglo-Saxon lands of Christianity, or at least cut out its growing influence. It is likely that the Fernsiders in order English lands flocked to his standard, and as he seemed favoured by Wardin, the Walkyrie, for he fought many battles, some against the great odds, and yet prevailed victorious. As an Anglo king and as one of the victorious on the battlefield, he no doubt was rightfully seen as an heir of Yngwi, bestower of sacred kingship to the Angles. Penda defeated Northumbria and became the most powerful Anglo-Saxon ruler in England and the most powerful ruler in the British Isles. He also drove out the West Saxon king and gained fairly and tributes from the other English kings, all of which led to Mercian supremacy. It has been expertly theorised that Martin Wall, the Staffordshire hoard, was Penda's treasure, and which consists of gifts given to him by other kings in Britain and Europe, gifts from his aldermen, and of course treasure he and his men earned from raiding Northumbria and other English kingdoms and the wars with them. The Staffordshire hoard can be seen as one of England's last heathen king's greatest treasury of goods, amazed through devout warfare waged against the new religion. And before I start on with the next bit, I have a good book by Stephen Pollington that talks of the dress codes, and he even mentions that the Staffordshire hoard is Penda's treasure as well. It's getting more strongly thought of.
Yeah.
I believe that as well. To be fair, the Staffordshire.
Acknowledged.
I think it because it was in Mercia. I think it's the sort of like the Sutton Hwicce big treasured helmet and stuff, and I think it would have been Penda's quite frankly. So it's definitely Mercian wear.
Yeah.
Alas, as happens to many great warriors, Penda was slain at the Battle of Wynwayfield against Oswy, King of Northumbria. Never renounced the heathen faith, as in other battles. He was perhaps spurred on by the protection assumed to be offered by Ingwe. Although in this battle, the Walkyrie, bloodthirsty choosers of the slain, took Penda off to the field of battle and into the hall of the slain to divine gloriously with the other Guthrecken. It is thought that before his death, Penda stashed away the vast hoard of treasure he had collected over the years by burying it in Mercian ground. That it remained there for such a long, apparently undisturbed, suggests that all those who were about it were killed, likely at the Battle of Wynwayfield. Penda died on the battlefield, with his head having been cut off. In life, he lived as a son of Ingwe, but on death became a son of Waldin and the brother of Baldai. As he ascended to the hall of the slain, perhaps the great war god now has him in his armies, ready to fight against the Jotuns and the Wermas. We give hail to Penda, our Weirfrecker, for he was one of our last heathen kings, and because he so expified an elful wonder of Holdskeep to the Fernsida. If you could all repeat, please. Hail Penda,
Hail Penda,
Heathen Ward,
Heathen Ward,
Christian Bane,
Christian Bane,
Siga Anglican,
Sig Anglican,
Siga Fernsida,
Siga Fansida,
Rossahau.
Wasau.
Of course, I think the last worthy Flecken, which of our Engla Tocyme forebears, of course, our world of the Isle of Wight. Arwold, the last recorded Anglican Fernsida king. Arwold was an English Jute from the Isle of Wight. He had valiantly to the Fernsida and so became a foe to the new Christian order, which on the battlefield had recently slain Penda Cunning. After Penda's death, Mercia became Christian, and some time later invaded to the Isles of Wight, forcing the folk there to convert to Christianity. However, upon leaving the Isle of Wight, the English Jutes came back to heathendom. They were now seen as apostates by the church in Britain, in response to the kings of Calwella of Wessex sought to stamp out the last heathen kingdom. He wished to replace the inhabitants of the Isle of Wight. He planned to crown himself king and divide the land with himself and his own followers, promising a quarter of the profits to the church. Alwald was slain in battle against the Christians of Eostremonoff. Many of the Isle of Wight were put to the sword and slaughtered by the Christians. Arwald's two sons managed to flee and hide in the New Forest, where they were finally betrayed in their hiding, later put to the death by the Christians. Supposedly, before their deaths, his sons converted to Christianity, but were put to death anyway. Ironically, because the two Aethelings converted to Christianity, they were named saints by the church, who used their father's name for them both. Saint Arwald's Day is on April the 22nd each year. This butchery and irony show the degeneracy of the church, and that they can never be trusted. Despite their actions, we Fernseeders have Alwald cunning each year as a ward of our faith against insurrection. So Arwald's death day, it's also known as his feast day. That date is also, you can actually find that on Google, and it is in April, so I have actually marked that date in my calendar, because I looked it up when I first got my new calendar. So I'll raise a horn or swing to him on that day. I'll have to keep track of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, all of the Fernseeders see themselves as stewards of the past and keepers of the law, ready to pass down to their offspring. It is right that we again witness the coming of the Lengten of Eostra. So too we celebrate the return of the Fernseeder to our lands, for we here kindle the embers of old, to give rise to fires anew, and may they spread like wildfire amongst our folk, and see our England rise from the ashes made by dark spears. May our world look down at us from the great halls when we smile on his face. We could all repeat, please. Hail the worthy Frecan!
Hail the worthy Frecan!
Hail Angle!
Hail Angle!
Offer of Angle!
Offer of Angle!
Hengist and Horsa!
Hengist and Horsa!
Serditch!
Serditch!
Siaxred!
Siaxred!
Seaweird!
Seaweird!
Penda and Alwald!
Penda and Alwald!
Seager Anglican!
Seager Anglican!
Seager Fernseeder!
Seager Fernseeder!
Seager Reagan!
Seager Reagan!
Seager Fains of Fernseeder!
Seager Fains of Fernseeder!
Seager Hwicce!
Seager Hwicce!
Kin!
Kin!
Wassel Howe!
Wassel!
Blimey. Right then. Each may now give votes to the outside. So this is the part now, and then I think after that it's then the end of today's block. So do you want to grab the camera, bro?
Yeah, let's go.
And make sure you don't get anyone that doesn't want to be on it.
Alright.
Yeah.
You've been on and also.
Yeah. What we're going to do, because of all the poo around the garden,
Yeah.
we'll we'll put them on here. So, like Learfitch did, I'm just going to place some oats there. And as we remember, the 9 worthy Fleckham, we give these oats back to the land, Wassel Howe. There? You want me to?
Yeah.
You remember our ancestors and our forebears who came before us. What they give us, we give back to them. Wassel Hail.
Wassel Howe.
Yeah, I'll take the camera back now,
Yeah.
love.
Maybe just check before you put it on now if he's all right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know if you're going past me.
Yeah.
Right, good.
We honour our ancestors.
Well done, Knife.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dan, if you... You're going to go next, cuz.
Yeah, Dan.
Hail to our gods and our ancestors. Wassail.
That's a scrapping iron man. Please excuse that awful noise.
Yeah, you go and pass me then.
We'll just carefully go.
Yeah, but you should go on next, mate.
Good wolf.
Three to our ancestors, our Saxons. The second to right step up. That's how.
What's that?
Wassail.
It's time for a scrap one again, boy.
Yep. Could be worse.
Gaming.
Thanks, Reece. Appreciate it, mate.
Do excuse that awful noise, everybody watching. That is a scrapping iron man. I've never heard him bloody go off like that.
Nah, not that loud anyway.
Must be desperate.
Yep.
Truck, that's why.
As well, yeah. So now that is the blot ended for today, and I know we'll come off camera for the toast. Reece and Dan, do you have a song today, or
Probably not today, no.
that's fine, not a problem. So what we'll do in a sec is I'll cut the camera off for the Simbal toasts. Where again?
I mean, I've got my poem in my bag. If
Oh,
you
you
want
got
me
a
to
poem,
read
Dan?
that. Yeah, I've got my poem from.
Oh yes, please, mate. Yeah. Oh, of course, I forgot it. Yeah, that's brilliant. Good. Yeah, that's important part of the Simbal. Yeah, we can read that, bud.
Ah, yes, there we go.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. There is Brother Denu.
Thanes of Friend Cedar, we stand as one, Anglican warriors, proud of where we are from. We all gather in this hearth with joy and to take part, keeping our ancestors and loved ones in our heart. Forged together with tears and blood, we shall rise and conquer this flood. May our gods be proud, may our ancestors be proud, may our nation be proud. No matter the adversity or doubt, we shall cry, fight and defend, honour and sing no matter how loud. To those who wish to disband us or our beliefs, we say never, for we will be bonded from now and forever.
Well done,
That's
Dan.
well. Thank you,
Wow.
Dan. Well done. There we go. So thank you for everybody that watched, and again, sorry the lamb blessing and the mead hallowing the mead hallowing was missed off. It was kind of a bit of a mistake in the first take, but at least we got the main script in, and of course Dan's poem and the offerings. So the 8 offerings. So thank you all for watching. This is the Hwicce Engla. I won't be recording Hwicce when we visit up there, because they're not too they've got their reasons why they can't allow it up there. So I've recorded this Kimblot today, and this is the Engla Tocyme blot under the Thanes of Fenced umbrella. So thank you, brothers and half brother cousins, for joining me today. For I know the folks here, apart from excluding my brother, because I know he'll be with me,
Yeah.
I won't be able to make it to Fingers. So this is also a very important block for them today. So wassail hail, and I'll probably most likely next be on at Ostra. Bye bye for now.